I'm Will.
No, Jeffrey. Oh, I thought we were going. All right, so yeah.
Just banging on shit baseball.
Well,
That's
no,
what
man.
Colorado has right now.
If you hold an election for that, hold the election and stay to it. There's no law that says you can't change the name later.
But did they say that whoever wins the vote will win, or was it just kind
No,
of
that
like
was
to get the
insinuated.
feel
Yeah, that
of
was
the
insinuated.
Yeah, it wasn't like a poll like that.
Because
No, it was more a poll.
yeah, no, see, that's what. See, if they had come out and said everybody gets your vote, well, man, there's no way they would abide to that.
The vibes? No.
Well, no, to just straight up, hey, whichever gets voted best will win. Because
Well, if I recall,
If
what
you
they
leave it
did
to
was
the
they had
people,
people
you're
like submit names.
Yeah.
Okay, and then they screened out a bunch of the names.
okay.
But like
Gotcha.
Rocky Mountain Oysters was like top. on that
Gotcha.
one. It's like, all right, so let's do a poll.
Would you do the logo as
Yes.
an oyster, or
Yes.
or as
Yes.
like a buffalo or something? Like,
Well, those are cow balls. So,
Right.
yeah.
No, I get
you
that, but
don't want your logo to be a cow.
no, you do plane number one, a mountain, plane number two, an oyster. Is that simple?
Like a water
Yes.
oyster?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, all right.
All right. So
Yeah.
you're not literally saying, but you're literally saying.
But mom and dad have to explain the joke to their kids.
Okay,
But on the logo,
it
it's
looks
mountain
PC.
seafood.
Right, yeah.
Nice. There you go.
And then the next year, when you say we have to change this atrocious name, you're the Rocky Mountain Seafood.
No, that doesn't. That
Yeah, that
doesn't.
doesn't work. Yeah, no.
Yeah, or you hold a new poll in a little bit, or whatever, anything like that. And
Who would want to get rid of it?
Well, it like won overwhelmingly.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
there's
saying.
no way anyone would
Well,
want to get
They
rid
it's
of
just
it.
thought it was fun.
if people aren't going to the games, then you hold another
Are people going to the games?
I don't know.
Absolutely not. So,
Okay,
yeah. I mean, they still hold games right over there.
I live here and I can't be bothered.
No, exactly.
Do they
Me
have
neither.
fireworks every?
Oh, well,
Sometimes.
Every
yeah,
third
fireworks
day
and
or
stuff,
something?
yeah.
Not every third day, but yeah, every now and then my dog does go ducking for cover, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's right.
Oh, it's your time too coming in.
Yeah,
It is, yeah.
Should be all right though.
I have a question for you guys. So Nikki and I are having a conversation. When, let's say you're talking to yourself in your head,
Yes.
having your own private conversation.
I do that out loud, but yeah, sure.
Okay. If you're not doing it out loud, do you hear your own voice?
Since I've been on YouTube, yes.
If you hear a song, do you hear the music?
I don't hear that in my own voice, no.
Well, do you just hear, like, if you like if a song is stuck in your head, do you hear the music?
Hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I don't.
Oh.
Like, I
Yeah,
don't,
no, I do. Yeah,
I-
I do.
don't, and I guess I'm assuming I'm the oddball, but I hear more. I like see it more. Like I'm like I know it goes high, I go low,
Oh, I'm
but
bad.
I
I've heard people
don't.
do
I
that.
don't.
Yeah, I'm
I
bad at
can't
that.
hear the
Yeah.
sound, and I don't hear my voice. I just know I'm talking to myself.
I can set it to whatever voice I want. So,
So Morgan Freeman could be talking to you,
I want to.
giving you motivational support.
Right,
It's
yeah.
it's not even hard for me to
Singing
put it together.
Metallica.
No. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I'll bet. Yeah. Exit light. And tonight.
All right, that was one question I had to propose to you guys. 'Cause she definitely hears it, and I'm like, I don't hear it.
I can hear the music. Yeah.
Unless I'm humming it, I can't hear the sound.
Oh,
I just
okay.
know. I just know it goes up and down.
Yeah, that's a rough one. I don't understand that. But then you also know I have a very different memory than you guys. It's very
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
this
true,
is
yeah.
this is not just can I think of the song in its presentation? Can I think of a live version? Can I think of what was released around that same time? Can I think of a time during like the summer of '98 where I was watching videos and the video that came before and after it?
See, mine is just what show or movie was it in?
That I can get.
That's pretty much that. Those are my favorite songs, and those are like, oh yeah. Or my daughter sang this song a ton, so
Oh,
I think of
yeah,
her.
yeah.
But otherwise, like, no, I don't really do music much. So
Okay. It's not. It's not for everyone.
I'm basically
yeah.
tone deaf, so I can't tell when it goes up or down. Unless it's like really up or down. Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, that's why I quit music in 5th grade.
Stop.
It wasn't even
Like, stop, yeah.
It wasn't even worth going to war for
No, yeah, no.
it. 'Cause that's when
I probably do recall doing that at least once.
Well, I did it for 2 years.
Waterworld?
You know,
Yeah.
You didn't go to Waterworld.
for choir.
No, you went to the Manitou water slide.
Manitou water slide.
I went to Waterworld. It was the one in Denver. Well, it was different though.
Is that where?
Because
They
it
took
wasn't
us for
outdoors.
choir?
It was indoors.
Yeah, the original place that choir would go is the Manitou.
Manitou water slide, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which got ripped down.
Yeah, that's what I didn't even remember Manitou water slide. So I just thought of Waterworld.
Well, you
I
told
know I went to a water park.
Well, that was the thing. You told me it was cool, right? So that's why I signed up the next year. I went for 2 weeks and said, I hate this.
Like it is not worth the trip to a water park.
Slide or not,
I
I'm like,
remember that. That shit used to be right off I-25.
Yep.
Yeah. It had like 2 slides.
Which was a lot.
There was the big one and the little one.
Right.
Yeah, in the pool that like would fucking tear up your feet.
One of many.
Yeah.
That's a serious design flaw. I've seen in multiple pools now.
Well, I don't remember that like doing music camp there. I remember going there with like Boy Scouts a couple times.
That would make sense. Well,
Yeah.
that was choir, so
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
know.
just
I don't know if band.
Oh, that was choir. I never did.
band might have gone somewhere else. They might have gone to Waterworld. I don't know.
It wasn't Waterworld. There was another place up in Denver, and it was all indoors. It wasn't like Waterworld where like it's 90% outdoors. I don't remember where it was. So, but they had like it was the same like setup where they had like 2 good water slides and a whole bunch of like just like kiddie pool bullshit.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't remember. That was a long time ago.
Which I mean, it's cool because I mean we were kids at the time,
And so it was cool.
Right.
Right.
Right? Yeah.
But if you were like 17,
Yeah. Not
you'd be
cool.
like, "Fuck all this."
Yeah. Fuck off. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
Yeah, we went to Jellystone and they have their water park. And
how is that place, by the way?
They have a water park there.
Yeah.
Right off I-25.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
It's
what
got-
answers my question.
it's got
great.
like
It's
It's
like
got-
20 minutes away.
why we stayed there. It was cool. It's
It's like, why
good.
don't you just like visit for a day?
We stayed over 2 nights.
Really?
Well, that's not bad. 2 nights is
Oh, okay.
Well, and they each got to bring a friend, and so it
Oh,
was,
okay.
so they got to do all the water.
Does you have
park
like
stuff.
a cabin or something? Or-
Yeah, it's.
Yeah,
oh, you can
okay.
bring your own.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's still full of art. I drove by
Yeah.
it today, man.
It is straight up 100% glamping. Like it's not even pre.
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
But
There's
the
no
water
fucking
park's
fees.
okay. Yeah, there really is. It's okay. It's got a few slides. One's okay. None of them are like anything crazy.
right.
So,
Right.
but they got
It's like Santa's workshop slides.
they got a good pool there, and then they have a secondary pool like in a different part of the park. So in a different part of the land that's pretty good. It has a hot tub and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
They've got
okay.
going on.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's just that the Wi-Fi sucked, so the kids were just like,
Oh my God, dying.
yeah,
Can't play
they're just
Minecraft.
like, well, they had all brought all their computers and stuff, so they were all going to play together and do all this kind of stuff, and like the Wi-Fi was just like,
Super lag, like 007 lag.
yeah, it was bad, or it would disconnect, and it was like they'd try and watch YouTube and it would freeze, and they'd have to wait, all this kind of, and then,
And
yeah,
it's spinny.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they, other than that, it was pretty cool. We all got fried. It's already all peeled, so
I see. You look pretty good for.
yeah, I'm back. So It all finished peeling away and all that.
And you were up there for 3 days? 2 nights?
2 nights,
right?
Yeah, okay.
And you can't check in until like
That's just
3.
like, yeah, I mean, it's like,
But it's pretty pricey too.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
so
3 bills a
I
night.
remember that. What? What?
Well, with the
Well,
crew
that's with
you
the
brought.
cabin.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
the cabin.
How many people slept in the cabin?
It was 5 of us. So the 4
Okay.
kids. Nikki stayed up there one night, but otherwise it was just me. And
She's like, fuck it, I'm going home.
she's studying for the bar, so.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
So I'm going to grab some Taco Bell and go stay.
So and then they
exactly camping.
then they charge you for bringing your dog. So
Oh,
Was Ray Winnie?
oh yeah,
Did Winnie have a good time?
she did. Like I think I don't know if she liked the old campground more than this one because it was more
Because you used to go up to, what was it, Lone
lone
Duck?
duck. Yeah,
See, that's a little bit more remote.
it is. Oh, way more remote.
I don't know, man. It's still on 24, so
True,
yeah. I mean, like,
but you're at least
Tacos no
tucked.
more than 10 minutes. There's a Walmart right there.
Yeah, that's true. But their Wi-Fi was better.
In the canyon,
It was.
Nice.
Whatever
Yeah,
they
okay,
had set up
yeah.
there.
because that whole
Bar.
Jellystone thing, man. I mean, it was dying for like decades.
Oh yeah.
Until they did all the construction on the Gap, and that's where all the construction guys park their rigs. So they got millions of dollars. Because it used to just like literally is like, what happens here is like, well, there's an old caboose that's like rotted out.
The caboose is still there.
I know it is. I drove by it today. So yeah. So, but then there's like all these like acres of like fucking, like
You can park there. And
$400,000 fucking motorhomes and like $80,000 fifth wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's not a tree to be found.
No. It is wide open. But
Yeah, because this is right there north of Larkspur.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The same Larkspur exit. So we went there Sunday,
Oops.
and all the traffic,
Oops.
like so.
It's this Renaissance Festival.
Yeah. And so by the time we're checking in, everyone's going to the Renaissance or leaving. So it actually had us drive into, I don't know if it was Larkspur, but it had us drive into and just like get off the highway.
Yeah, way out to
Drive
Palmer Lake and shit.
Yeah, it's like, oh boy, all right, well, we're good.
I haven't been there in forever.
I don't think I've ever been there.
I went there with the Carters once.
Whoa,
Yeah.
really?
Palmer Lake, no.
Palmer Lake is just
Right.
west of there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, like Palmer Lake is generous.
Yeah.
It's a pond.
Well, I want to say Crystal Lake, but that's from Friday the 13th. Is there a crystal
Actually, I
body
think
of
there
water?
is.
There's Crystal Falls up in.
I think there is a crystal.
Then that might have
I
been where
think
I
that's
went
where
to.
I
that's
do remember them.
Yeah,
saying
that's
they went
north
to
of
Crystal
Divide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lake.
Okay.
They did say that they would go to Crystal Lake.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I went there. With
I
them,
would have
that's right.
never came up with that, but yeah, now that I hear it, yeah, they did say that. That
Maybe
was
that's
like-
why I
that
think
was their
it's fictional,
spot.
because it's goddamn Friday the 13th. Yeah.
Kind of,
Yeah,
same
that's-
cabins, yeah.
Well, just name the same place. Camp Crystal Lake. That's what the
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the lower murder rate. But, yeah,
probably why they went there, actually.
definitely why they went there.
Yeah. Fucking white trash. I mean, a little bit. I mean, it's just,
Yeah, that's fair.
you got to remember they were of the first like California refugees.
True, huh? Yeah.
Were they?
Yeah, they were Californians.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Chased out during the Reagan years.
They got chased out of Utah by his dad.
Well, like in the 1800s.
Okay, all right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. The original ones, but yeah, they were Californians by nature. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know.
Wow. That's why they had that weird accent.
I don't remember an accent.
Oh, you don't? Okay. Well, that's again. These are the people that drank milk. They're the ones that slept on
Okay, yeah.
pillows.
Palos. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
okay, yeah, you're
Right.
right.
Wait, Pelos is Californian?
It is 100% Californian. these are the same people. Again, if you went into their fridge, right? You know those things that chicken lay?
Eggs.
No.
Eggs.
Eggs.
Yeah.
Like AIGS.
Mm.
Eggs. Right?
Not that they had any of those.
That's they would lay. Right?
Right.
That's where you also have the weird things where they don't say there, they say there.
I always thought she was Southern or something.
No, it's
But I think it's just because of the Georgia Brown Good Time Travel.
right.
Oh, yeah.
That got stuck in my head. So I just assumed they're from the South.
Yeah, there are a couple of things that are California local, and they had all of them. Yes,
But that was back in the 80s.
that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you ask them, they would still say like, "I went to On the Border and got enchiladas."
Man, you're remembering shit from way back. I'm sorry, dude. There's been a little bit too much turbulence since then. For
You
me
can
to
pretty
remember.
much say anything.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
just go on
that
to it.
sounds
Yeah,
right.
that sounds right. Yeah.
Well, no, okay. Now there were some like telltale things where, like, he never said, "If we're going somewhere, go get on the 25." Right? That's a California giveaway.
What?
Well,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
They're
but
on the-
like,
They'll
so
say to get on the 1, the PCH, the 101, the 10.
they do that in
They-
Arizona too. That's not a
That-
uniquely California
It's a
thing.
West
They would
Coast
tell me
thing.
that comes from California.
Well, I'm sure it
Yeah.
does, but
Yeah.
it's not uniquely California.
Not anymore. But that is distinctly where that came from.
Gotcha. Well, I guess I can.
So we never did that.
Okay.
But I don't think I ever got directions from him.
Let's just go.
Right.
Get in a car.
Like, go on powers until it ends, and then like keep going up.
Right. You mean
Yep.
north?
Huh. Yeah, I would have never. Actually, I would have never guessed California.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I knew his dad was from California. So I thought his mom was from the South, though.
She
I
may
thought
have.
she was like from Georgia or something. Or no, that was her name. Yeah.
Rats.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Sorry, my bad.
Right.
That's what
Well, I mean, that is kind of a weird thing. It's like, your name's Georgia. Where are you from? California. That's dumb.
You should be from.
But my understanding that was she was the actual Mormon in the family.
I know his dad was adopted, so I know that may be something that played
Yeah, maybe.
into it. So,
I wonder if his brother still lives over here.
possibly.
It's possible. I mean, his other one died.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, because that's where, if you remember, that's where, yeah, because he used to, they used to actually go to like Disneyland all the time.
Yeah.
They talk
Wasn't she
about that.
really big into Beanie Babies for a while too?
I wouldn't doubt it.
I think she was. Yeah.
I think so.
His
In
mom.
the basement.
His mom, yeah.
The basement had a bunch of people.
Well, she did all kinds of crafty bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
So if you're asking, yes.
And his dad was like a Spanish teacher, if I'm not mistaken.
Some sort of teacher.
Yeah, a Spanish teacher, and
Because they moved to Mexico.
Yeah, he was a Spanish
Yeah, okay,
teacher
right.
and sports referee.
Oh,
okay.
that's right.
Yeah,
he did
you're
ref.
right. Yeah, you're right.
That was his jam. In fact, I think he made more money
Ref.
reffing.
Then teaching Spanish, yeah.
Well, because he was so good at it that he got pulled into like multiple sports. He did football and like
Yeah, you're right. I
and a
remember
couple of
that.
things. Yeah. There was a picture of him on their fridge. I was like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, it's been a minute.
This you remember we were talking about
been
like
a minute.
memory stuff? Yeah, I know. This
Yeah.
is
Exactly.
yeah.
Well, it's
I need
funny.
a
I mean, I
lot.
drive out, like, going home from your house every night. Mike's car is still out in his
Right
driveway.
there.
Yeah.
Yep. Just right
Wait,
over there.
what? His car?
Yeah, the yellow
orange
Mustang.
Oh.
Yeah.
He still has it. That's like a 92 model. So 90,
It's not 92.
it's not that much older than that, bro.
92, I was in 6th grade. That's not.
It's something like that. It's whenever they came out with the first new model of the Mustang.
Yeah, that would have been like 96, 97.
Okay, fine. All right, I'm off by 5 years.
Yeah, at this point, that's
It's
not
like
that big
30 years now, probably.
Well, no. Okay, because
God,
Yeah. I
Jesus.
remember talking, it's within a standard deviation now.
no. Okay. The only reason I'm saying so 92 they would have still been doing the Mustang 2. They were kind of like recovering off of that. If you've seen it, it's quite
Okay,
ugly.
fine. Yeah, sure.
But like in 2002, the reason I'm saying that is they went back to the old boxy form, right? That came out. So it's that
No,
model
it's
right
before
in between
that.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cannot track Mustang evolution.
I
Well,
don't track
I
no
did-
car.
I do not.
I was hanging out with Mustang
Who's the other Mustang?
people. Nate Miller.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
Nate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I actually keep in touch with him on LinkedIn.
Well, there you go. All right.
Yeah. He's a Jeep guy now.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He does the rock crawler thing.
Well, isn't he like somewhere in the mountains or something like
Yeah,
that?
he's up in the hills.
Yeah.
He's I think 20 years deep into some school district up there.
One of 3 teachers.
It's one of those kind of places, yeah.
It kind of is, yeah. So
Yeah, fuck all that. That's not.
I
No.
need city stuff.
I will never live more than 20 miles away from a Costco ever
Yeah.
again.
No,
Yeah, no.
I still like the movie theater. I like being able to go get my food free.
Well, I don't care about that, but
Get it delivered.
I want Costco meat.
Yeah. Well, it's that. I mean, the other thing.
a Taco Bell nearby.
Yeah, if you don't feel like
Right.
how far away is it from you to get some actual food if you don't feel like cooking?
That's true. That's
correct.
true.
That's the
But
McDonald's
I'm
index.
picky about
and,
that, though,
Yeah,
man. Yeah.
you would be like if it was
If you only had one.
if it was a Taco John's.
Hey, God damn
Fuck that, man. I'm moving.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, man. Can't get no beefy 5-layer burrito or rice and bean burrito or
No, you cannot.
crunch wrap.
What if your
No.
only one was the Subway at the gas station?
I'm moving now. Yes. This doesn't qualify as food.
It's not. He's moving with the Taco
Dude, I
John's.
lived in a
Burning it
fucking town that
down.
only had
Yeah.
a Subway. So, come on.
There are plenty of those small towns where the Subway was the
Well, it
only
was a
thing
Subway
there.
slash gas station
Yeah.
slash fucking come and go.
No.
And like
That
the
was
guy would
great.
like, oh, you need some gas? I was like, no, I need a sub. You're like, all right, put on a different hat.
Well, it was one employee.
Yeah.
That would
You're sitting there looking at us, and hands looking awful green.
Well, it ain't getting any fresher. Do you want it? Yeah.
Nah, I'm good. Can you make me a grilled cheese?
That cheese is looking awful green, man.
Well, at least cook it.
Your next stop is 50 miles.
It was.
Do
Man.
you want this toasted? Yeah, like 600 degrees.
Right.
Yeah.
Put it burnt to a crisp.
Yes.
I just don't want to die today.
Could you do me a favor and just spritz it with rubbing alcohol before you send it in?
Exactly.
Yeah. Try and burn a layer of flesh
Yeah,
off.
you can do that with your hands too.
Yeah. Well, no, what was that? There was one place where we were rigged out there for a while, and that it was like that Carl's Jr. Subway that was constantly mobbed.
Oh, yeah.
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 Well, a little town that I lived in, the subway there, you go in at 2:00 in the morning, there'd be 2 people.
Yeah.
So, because it's the only thing within like the 30
Yeah.
miles. So,
Okay, so check this out. So Marina, she was headed to New York, right? She was like,
I
"Well,
saw that on LinkedIn. Yeah.
yeah, okay, so
She was doing like a little dance thing, or no, it was opera.
shit,
Something like that.
yeah, no, that's
yeah.
the thing. She's like one of the people in charge of like renovating this fucking opera.
What?
In New York City?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is
How
it like
do
the
you
one down by the docks or what?
How do you get that job?
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
okay,
break this down to you guys all later.
Gosh.
There's stuff going on. All right, but no, for fuck's sake! Like, I mean, this is
Go from inspirational
Business
Just the
guru
things
to,
to-
yeah.
renovating an opera? Like,
no, this is You may know this name because of the people that you used to know. Do you know this guy?
No.
That's Marty Pompadour.
Nope.
Okay, all right. Well,
Sorry.
basically, this is like the godfather of all U.S. media.
Oh.
He's one of the big people in CBS, and she's sitting there fucking having dinner with him and saying like, "Check who I'm sitting with."
Okay.
Because of this opera shit. Why? Because Russians know Russians.
Pompadour is Russian?
No, he's not. But this is just a person. This is
a little bit of Leonidas in his name. There.
No. This sort of this. I guess this goes back. This is like an historic opera. So sort of like there's a renovation trying to bring back something that was like from like the 19 somethings, early 1900s. It's sort of so they're renovating
pre-Nazi area. Yeah.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
So, but anyway, she was going to New York, and I was just like, "Oh, what were some of the places that you went to?"
I couldn't tell you one.
Well, here's the thing: I looked them all up. Nothing is still open.
No, all that shit's
not
gone.
a thing. Even that Church's Chicken White Castle is
Gonzo.
Gone.
Yeah. No, that hotel we stayed in twice.
It's still there, but it's renovated into something
It's totally
else.
different. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Gershwin. That's right.
Birch.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. With the flames coming out of the front of it.
Cool place, but it is completely different.
Yeah, kind of cool. The next time I stayed there, it wasn't so cool.
Well, I mean,
So-
it was the
It's a hostel.
well,
So-
it was extremely like bougie. It was like it was bohemian. It had that
It
there
was
a lot-
pre-bougie.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It was like it had like the art like starving artist thing going on there, which is cool, right? You can go somewhere else next time, but I thought that was really
Yeah,
neat when I went
exactly.
there.
Yeah, no.
But yeah,
I
nothing.
prefer a
Not-
place where we didn't have a shared bathroom. Yeah.
Location was fantastic, but yes, but yeah. So everything that I was looking at gone.
No,
I
it's all
couldn't
good.
Everything gone.
point on a map anywhere close to where we were. I have no
33rd and Lex.
I would have no
That's
idea.
where we were. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Do you remember where Fifth Avenue was?
no, I don't remember where anything is.
Oh,
Good,
they're
'cause
just
we-
numbered 1, 2, 3.
Well,
4.
yeah, I'm sure once I was on one of them, I could, but to like orient myself and think of it, no.
Well, okay. So do you know that there's a famous landmark that we were going by on a regular basis? on
The
Fifth?
Flatiron.
Flatiron's building.
Yeah, that's still there.
In many movies, it's the Daily Bugle. It's that.
There's
that
nothing
that-
in it.
Angle.
Yep.
There's
Yep.
nothing in it right now.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's all shut down. Yeah. So-
Evidently,
Wow.
it's a like a shitty building to get into. Like it's
Oh, I bet.
incredibly
It's like fucking-
inconvenient.
why is your kitchen, dude? So yeah,
Does it look
it's
awesome?
got one elevator in it that was built in like 18. Not exactly wheelchair accessible.
But it is. It may be classified as a historic building.
It is.
I'm pretty sure.
And that's why it's empty.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Mm. Gotcha.
But like,
or at least last time I looked at it, it's been a minute. So
it's still there.
oh
but
no,
yeah,
of
it's
course
just-
they're not going to knock it down, man. But like it doesn't have anything in it. Like when we were there was shit in there. So yeah.
Yep.
So in fact, I recall getting like a bagel in the basement. So
It may have been someplace where I think there was something to eat there way late at night. Actually, no. Actually, in New York, you can get something to eat. 24
anywhere,
hours.
yeah.
So- But I think it happened to be. It might have been on our way to get something to eat way late at night.
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah. After dealing with you fucking troublemakers.
Yeah, that was a wild.
We were fucking drunk.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
We just weren't as drunk as these guys.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Because we went out to get more, and they finished off the.
Yes.
Well, and William barfed a ring about
He wasn't the only one, man. That
well, he didn't throw it in the sink.
I just threw up some, rotate, throw up some, rotate.
That's where Jeff and I left because it was like, my God.
well, we were just like, all right, finally we've corralled these retards.
Yeah, finally. He put that fucking corpse in bed. You and I stayed out for like another 4 hours that
We went
night.
drinking.
We went drinking.
It was like, finally.
That was a place where the guy threw us the keys. Yeah. He was like, "Get out of here by 4, lock up," and we're like, "That."
I think it was because it was just like shove it through the mail hole or something like that.
It was. He was like, "Yeah, just drop it in the box back through the hole."
Yeah. Yeah.
So, because we left him like 50 fucking. We had no cash the next day because he spent it all that night.
Well, because look, so if we were straight up high rollers, and that would have been cool, right? Where the thing we were
We
doing,
were 22.
y'all were
He
22.
wasn't.
Right, that's right.
That's why he ran.
That's an important fact for later. But yeah,
What's wrong with your friend? He's afraid of cops. He's just like find him underneath a newspaper later.
No, man. So
I remember I went looking for you.
I went looking for you. I went looking for him. I eventually.
No, I got him back to the hotel. He helped me get Kevin back to the hotel.
Because
You had booked,
I
and so I went back out looking for you.
Yeah, and when I came back to the hotel, he was sitting downstairs.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
And he was looking like somebody had grounded him. He was over there in the car like seat, and he had this puss on. He's like, it was just like going for, and I don't remember why, but I was like, okay, well he's checked in. Where are the other guys? Because you went out looking for me.
I just walked around the block and I found you out front.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
And they were like,
yeah, but didn't you have to go back out for your wallet?
Mm.
Like if I recall, like
we took
your
him
jacket,
back up. We took him back up.
Your jacket like came off of you or something like that.
I had his jacket.
Yeah, but his wallet, like you guys had to go back out for.
No, it was in his jacket.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember
Yeah.
that. I just remember snapping too when the cops got there.
I think that may have been it. I think that may have been they needed your ID or something.
No,
which may have been
no. They just asked me like, "How far are you?" I was like, "Those flames right over there." You know, like, "Can you get him over there?" And I was like, "Yeah." This is after you had booked, and so I took you and Kevin up to the room.
Yeah.
And then I said, "Stay here."
Yeah.
I'm gonna go find Jeff, but I had your jacket because I had it tied around my waist.
That's right. And the key, I didn't have a key.
You didn't have.
That's why you were sitting out there.
Yeah,
Right.
I didn't have a
correct.
key because you took my
That's
jacket.
right. Because I remember there was some reason that you.
And I was just sitting there going, told me to sit.
But we had gotten Kevin up. To
Yeah,
the
we got
room.
Kevin up,
Yeah.
and then it came down. You said, "Stay
I
here."
said, "Stay here. I'm going to go find your brother."
And
yeah.
then you left, and then I was just like, "I'm gonna go to the room," and I'm like,
You got no key because I had your
To you.
Yeah.
I was like, "What are you doing here?" And I think it's just you were like muttering to yourself.
Well, and then you stepped outside to have a smoke, and I saw you.
Find you, but that was.
But I caught you before
Yeah.
you wandered off.
Yeah.
And then we took him back up, and then you and I were like, "This place fucking stinks," because Kevin was like fucking corpse mode at that point in time. Yeah. So then you and I went back out for another 4 hours.
Well, yeah, because down in the lobby, we met this dude named Luke, who was the.
Yeah, he was like some kind of actor.
He was an actor. He was the personal assistant for
That's right.
Rose McGowan.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Personal assistant for Rose McGowan. And
he took us to a bar, and then he ducked out, and Jeff and I stayed at the bar for like another 2 hours.
Because he knew the bartender.
He knew the bartender, so
Right.
he let us into the bar. But he ducked out, and then the bartender was like, "Well, you guys can have whichever you want." So he's just like, "Here's the keys." He's like, "Just leave them in the slot."
That's crazy.
Well, Luke had been drinking like.
That's not the first, that's not the only time I've heard that. Like my brother and my dad went, a couple times after we went, and they had the same like agreement. Like my brother and my dad would shut down a bar, and the guy would be like, "Hey," and he'd be like, "Yeah, well, we're cool. So here's $100." And he's like, "Yeah, cool. Just drop the keys in the mail slot. Call it good." So.
Yeah, Luke stopped because he'd been drinking like beforehand. Because if you recall, he was drinking just straight Southern Comfort from a double straw.
Yeah, you're right.
And so he had
I couldn't do that.
He had a couple more of those, and he's like, "I'm kind of drunk."
He's like, "I gotta go,
and I gotta work."
It was like 2:00 because we had gotten fucking Rexford by 11. that night, and then it took an hour to get you guys back. We lived like 2.5 blocks.
Why do I know Fifth Avenue? And so there's a couple of landmarks there. There's the street that I dragged Kevin across.
Well, there's a park there called Madison Park or something like that.
Yeah, there's a park, but also there's
That's where
a fire
Kevin
plug.
smacked his fucking head. Yeah.
Well, there's also a fire plug that has his knee mark on it too. His head got jacked up, but
But
he
you
also
dragged him across the street.
that was me.
I know. Because I was trying to corral
Yeah,
this
we were taking
Yeah.
turns. We were just it's like Rocky 2 where we're like chasing the chickens around. We corral one and then we get the other one.
The other one. I remember telling Kevin, stay here on the
Yeah.
park bench. He's like, "Rawr." And then he and I go and tackle you. And that's when the cops showed up.
Cops showed up. Yeah.
And then, yeah, he bolted. I got you on the ground like this. And you're like, what's going on? I was like, dude, I need help. I need help, guys. So, they're like, what's wrong with that guy? I was like, he hates cops, man.
I just remember him
he's
asking
scared.
that, and I'm like, huh?
And then you came.
And I'm like, oh.
And then you came totally too at that point in time. And I was like, all right. So, because the cops were like getting ready to like fucking cuff me at that point in time. And I'm like, look, guys, the hotel is right. We were like catty corner to the hotel. And I was like, look, I just need to get this guy and that guy from that hotel. And I remember they looked at you and they said, are you going to be cool? I'm like, yep. Yes. And that's exactly what you said.
That face?
Yes, he made that face. I was like, all right, I need him to help me get that dude over to the hotel. They're like, what about your friend? I was like, I'll have to find him later. So, but it was literally like 100 yards away from the entrance to the hotel. And yeah, you're right, because when we were scuffling, you had ripped out of your jacket.
Yeah.
So to try and get into the subway station.
Yeah, I had to go fight hard.
I had your jacket around my waist because I was like, all right, fuck. And then you had cornered him in that hole.
That's when the police showed up.
No.
No, we were on the street.
We had dragged him out
No,
of there.
I was on top of you.
Well, because
when
he
the
kept
cops-
fucking fighting us, man.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, fortunately, from the ground, his punches didn't have too much weight. But
Well, I
did
remember
definitely-
asking you, it's like, dude, can you knock your
I remember you asking me that. But,
And then, like, unfortunately, woo!
I guess that was my question. I'm
And then
like,
you were gone.
I was like, why are you guys still there? Like, 4 people should run in 4 separate directions.
well, Kevin was
dead,
fucking
man.
dead on the park bench. And he was across the street.
We would have had to get him out of jail, whatever jail they would have taken him in.
It's a fun story. It wasn't. I mean, that's the look.
You guys would have wound up in Rikers.
When did they ask you about the straws?
Oh, that
'cause-
was later after
No.
he ran away.
yeah. Because when I took off that way, right? When I took, and I don't know what street I tore off down. It was just the first one I could see. It was across the
It
street.
wasn't that
So-
far.
No, but in the middle of the night, and you don't know where you are. You get lost pretty fast, and that's where the policeman in the cab,
He was in a taxi
Oh.
cab.
right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's
But
when
he gave you directions back to the hotel, and that's when I found you later.
yes.
Yeah,
He
'Cause
asked me
I
what was going on.
only made one loop around the block, which was the direction I thought you went in, and then you just happened to be like standing in the door of the hotel
Yes.
when I came back,
Yes.
and yeah, we had to take you back up and around. I gave your jacket back, so and you instantaneously passed out.
Oh yeah.
So and then Jeff and I were like, "Fuck," because you were like,
Yeah, and the tall one wasn't that far behind him either.
"Oh, he was already in bed
Yeah.
at that point." Yeah.
I just remember the next morning how dirty his sheets were. Like,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
god.
We have the photo of it.
I do have that photo. Yeah. I also have the photo of all the money that we spent that night. Because we took all our cash and threw it on the bed, and we spent all of it.
I mean, again, I love the idea of we were buying rounds for each other, right? Because that was the way that we were doing
We
it.
had gotten that cash with traveler's checks. I had traveler's checks that I cashed at the hotel that day. That's why we
Right.
took all that money and threw it on the fucking bed because we thought we were rich kings. We spent it all in one fucking night, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we went to like some like Mexican restaurant or something that night,
We did, and then
And it was hella expensive, if I recall.
well, everything was hella expensive, but I mean,
But then
it
we
was
went to that bar where that chick kept giving us fucking oyster shots.
that
Bad.
was the second stop.
You're right. There was another stop before
So
that. Yeah.
the first stop we actually went to. Either we brought it with us. I know that we had a handle of something.
No,
Right.
we went back out and got that before we went to the second bar.
Mm-mm.
I thought
'Cause-
he and Kevin went to a liquor store.
No.
You guys went
we
to the
did.
liquor store.
We did.
Oh, okay.
They polished
We-
that off.
We had
while
something.
Oh,
in there
yeah, you're
while
right.
You guys were.
We had to go back out and they murdered that.
Correct.
Yeah,
you guys were
you're right.
gone for.
That was like Goldschlager.
Well, because we didn't know. I mean, I was
It was like 151.
yeah, it was
something. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And I don't remember if we brought that or if we bought that.
We bought that.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
we
we-
didn't bring any booze with us.
But I think we were gone for a while because we couldn't
There
find
was
a
no
liquor store.
Yeah.
We
you
had
guys
a-
were
you're
gone
right,
forever.
We had to hoof it for a while till we found a place, and it was like about to close.
Yep.
Which we were like, here? But I guess that's the thing. Is
That's how it
because
works.
they
Yeah.
want you to go to the bars, right? And so
And so they murdered that off, and then we had to go to the bar.
then we came back, and then we're like, let's go to the bar. And I guess these guys
It was just like it was like 200 yards away.
and I guess these two fucking asshats were over there sitting like doing 10 counts apiece, you know.
Yeah, they were.
And so when we
Because we were playing fucking GoldenEye or something.
so,
Yeah, we were good.
I can't believe we bought the ends.
You know, here's the trick. I will do that on every trip, and I always will from here on out. Why? Because you never know when you're going to be fucking out of money unexpectedly,
yeah.
right? Where it's like, oh my god, we should stay in the hotel and just play video games because we're out of cash,
Yeah.
right? And not for nothing. I will say that. So the day that morning, okay, I know that we were worn out from two things, right? So we were worn out that night from getting just like tore up, right?
Well, the next day.
But the day before,
The statue.
we went to the Statue of Liberty, right?
Yeah.
So we climbed all the fucking steps. Then we got tore up, and so the next day
We had cheap sandwiches or something.
we went to Battery Park. That's
And
the
I
thing. It was
fed
weird.
pigeons with
Yeah,
Yeah.
sandwich.
we were
Bad
so
sandwiches.
beat up
Yeah.
and exhausted and tired and broke, where it's like, is there anything cheap and free?
I think that's
And
where
we're
I
like,
bought
that's
my
the park.
$5 Rolex.
Yeah,
Sure was.
Kevin got that chain that turned green with
That
those
was-
days.
Yeah,
That was yours? Okay.
I bought the chain. He bought the I Heart Newborn NY shirt.
Oh,
and,
yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I think he bought a fake Rolex too. I bought a chain and a
He did buy a fake Rolex. Yeah.
yeah. I bought a chain and I bought sunglasses. That's right. I bought a chain and sunglasses. I bought Fakeleys and yeah, and we hung around that park for a while because we were in no mood to do anything
I
else.
thought
man.
that was the day after that bad night.
Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
yeah. So, but we had gone up to the statue the day before.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Because we were going to go down to the World Trade Center.
We
And
were,
we
and we
decided
wandered
not
down
to.
that
Yeah.
way, but we didn't make it.
No, we got hungry.
And that's where we eat those.
Those crap sandwiches.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so it wasn't just that the sandwiches were crap. It's that we have very different definitions of what bread is supposed to be like.
Right, yeah.
And for some reason, out there in that area, they're like, no, I want it rock hard on the outside
Right, yeah.
and just slightly less rock hard on the inside.
Sawdust on the inside, yeah.
It's like, really?
Yeah.
So we're over here like chewing hard bread when it hurts to
yeah.
move?
Yeah.
And that's why you're kind of like, well, this pigeon likes it
Pigeons.
more than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't we go up to the Met the next day? We went to the Met.
Oh,
We did.
Yeah.
We did. But if it was before or after, I can't tell you. All I know is that we went to the Empire State Building the first night.
That was the first night because we got in late.
yeah.
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 That was the first thing we did. And I think we went to bed after that shortly afterwards. I don't
Well, it
think we
was like
stayed up
11
late.
o'clock at night. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and we walked. So which was like a couple miles. So from where we were, it was a hike.
I don't.
It was a hike. I remember there's like some kind of Israeli thing that was going on at that time because they had all these stickers on the signposts that were like Barack is a traitor or something like that.
In 2000.
Not Barack Obama, but a different guy.
Oh, all I know is that when we went the first time, it was Ash Wednesday. So
But
we,
yeah, it was Ash Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so we saw all those people were like,
I think
What's
that's when
the
we went off
problem?
the statue.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because we went down there. We took the Staten Island ferry too, didn't we?
Not that first night though.
No, not the first night, but the next day. I don't remember.
No,
we did.
Well, we took something to go out.
Yeah.
Well, the ferry was out to the Statue of Liberty.
Oh yeah, and we went to Ellis Island.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that I said. I was like, the only chance of getting something that was there when I was there is maybe the crinkle cut fries at the Statue of Liberty.
There was a Nathan's hot dog.
Might
out
be
there. Yeah.
still there.
Yeah. There was a Nathan's out there.
Yeah, but that's where I don't think.
I think it was on Staten Island, or I mean on Ellis Island though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we were only there for about 3 days, 4. It wasn't a week-long
No,
trip.
it was like 3 nights.
It was pretty action packed though. I'm gonna say like
Yeah, it was.
there was a lot of stuff that happened.
Because I remember going to the Times Square Brewery.
And I think that was the
Yeah.
first night.
Might have been.
I think that was I think that was the first place we went because
Might have
we
been.
went to get something to eat, and that was great. And then I do know that we
Didn't
went
we go to the Mart? There was wasn't it a Disney store or something?
something. You know,
Yeah,
I think
we-
something
we-
like that.
Yeah.
Well, we were walking everywhere. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh
we
yeah,
would just
no.
pop into whatever place we came to next.
Now I don't think on our
We did
trip,
take the train a couple times.
yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the nicest human being on the planet came
Yeah.
by and said like, "Oh, what are
Oh,
you
yeah.
doing?" Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I think on
And
the
we were
first
all
night,
like, "Wow,
I
this
think
never
the
came bad."
first night we went to the Empire State Building on the train,
Yeah, you're right. We did.
and then it was the Battery Park day that we were going to walk down to Wall Street, and we didn't make it.
I thought that was the night after we all got really fucked up.
It absolutely was.
Yeah,
which is
okay.
why we didn't make it. What I can't remember
Because
is
we were going to go up the World Trade Center, but we did not make it.
correct.
Yeah.
Correct. I don't think I went to Little Italy with you guys.
But didn't we get to Wall Street or the isn't that Wall Street where it's right on the shore?
We got
No, that
down
was
there,
Battery Park.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
we got
was
to Battery Park. and we weren't far.
But we weren't far,
Okay.
but we
Yeah.
were like fucking cooked.
Yeah.
So
it was-
yeah,
We saw the bull, didn't we?
yeah, we did. Yeah, that wasn't too far from Wall Street. Yeah, yeah, we did. And I remember like walking around like central Manhattan because I remember walking by the Trump Tower.
I don't remember that.
I don't
Yeah.
either. I wonder where my pictures are of all that stuff.
I've got all my pictures.
Wow.
That had to
Yeah,
have been like with a
somewhere.
regular camera.
Yeah, like snapping and
Yeah.
rewind. Yeah.
That's correct. As a matter of fact, we didn't bring regular cameras.
No, we bought little like cheapy
Quick
things.
snaps.
Yeah.
The Kodak.
The Kodak.
um,
Yeah.
It had a
There were
it was a special
disposable
name, yeah.
cameras. Yeah.
And actually, that was true because we ran out of pictures on those. So we actually bought more at Battery Park. There was
you're right.
that
Yeah,
little
we did.
like tourist box over there. There was some Asian lady. That's where Kevin bought his T-shirt, and he bought.
A couple of those, but I
It
think,
wasn't a Kodak. It was a Fujifilm Quick Snap.
yeah. But I think that was also that we did go up to Central Park and we saw the Met.
I know. I saw
did
that.
not
I
go-
guarantee that because we were in the middle of the Egyptian exhibit, and I remember all of us were hanging out there for.
Well, and
a
they
little
had the
longer.
Thinker statue, which was only this big.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember, so we definitely did that. So now, like when I went later, and we didn't go, but I went to the Natural History Museum with the planetarium,
There you go.
which was right
Yeah.
there. But that was a different trip. I think that was with my dad. So,
I went to the Met twice. And I went.
Yeah,
I went with a girl.
I remember we all went. Yeah, to the
Yeah.
Met.
Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
I have a picture of Hieronymus Bosch's.
Right.
piece.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well,
It's like, whoa, I never thought I'd see this.
Well, they also had that's the place with like the
They had like the King Tut thing there.
yeah.
There.
We went to the
yeah.
the Egyptian part. That's
Right.
where we were walking through the recreated
Yep.
like
Correct. Yep.
archways. But they also had the fucking like the Goyas that are the size of a fucking movie screen. You remember those the ones that the actual the paintings that go all the way.
Oh yeah,
It was
yeah,
like,
yeah. The
these are
huge ones. Yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So we did go to the Met.
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah,
I think it was free.
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. Yeah,
I kept one of the buttons. I kept one of the pins that you put
yeah,
on.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. That's right. And I stole
You
a
saw
salt
that
shaker.
torch around here somewhere too.
Salt shaker.
Yeah, well, I stole the salt shaker from the Times Square Brewery.
Times Square Brewery. Yeah.
I stole a piece of concrete. I took a piece of sidewalk. Um, I bought um, I bought an ashtray at the Statue of Liberty.
yeah.
Yep. I bought that little see whatever like the Disney or whatever it was. This may have been like a WB place because
I think it was
It was
WB. It was
WB.
WB.
it was the penguin.
Yeah.
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 This little Oswald Cobblepot penguin. I brought back a CVS phone card because yes, that was how I was making phone calls. Was you bought a phone card
Oh, I don't
with
remember.
minutes?
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Uh huh. Why?
Who were you calling?
I was calling my girlfriend,
Oh, okay.
and that was the thing. Was if you were calling, you couldn't call in New York even if you had a cell phone because the roaming charges were going to get you for like $130.
See, and I didn't have a cell phone back then.
Yeah.
I can't remember when I got.
I
'Cause
didn't-
that was like that was our first year of college, right? The first spring break.
Was it? No, it was.
Well, you guys.
I want to
so
say it was
graduated in
2000.
98.
Yeah.
Definitely wasn't 2000.
So
I
I was.
think it was.
No, I
Oh, it was
graduated.
college.
Well, listen.
Well, I think I was in my last year of
Oh
college.
yeah, 'cause we had
yeah.
to be old enough to drink. Never mind.
Because
Yeah,
the
you're
other
right.
thing
Old enough to
is
drink
like
when?
they had,
When did the Twin Towers fall down, guys?
that was the next year.
Right.
So, I mean, we were there like a year and a half before that happened, and then my wife and I went on there on our honeymoon the following year.
Yeah.
And then we
I
were
did
going to
too.
go down to the fucking.
Well, then I
World
definitely
Trade
would have
Center.
had a phone.
I did not. I did not
did.
have a phone.
Yep.
I
I, I did not have a phone. So, and like there, because I remember this was right after Columbine, and I remember the guy. There was this big black dude who was the fucking bouncer at the hotel.
At our hotel?
Yeah, at our hotel,
Bouncer or doorman?
doorman.
Okay.
But he wasn't dressed up like a doorman. He was,
Just guy.
he was a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, a security guy.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff. And I remember talking to him while we were waiting for something that night that we got really fucked up.
Yeah.
And I remember him asking me, he's like, "Oh, you're from Colorado." He's like, "Hey, what's the deal with that thing?" I was like, I didn't go to high school.
Well, that was 1999, so yeah.
Yeah, it would have been right before
Should have
that.
been the year before.
Yeah. So that was a wild trip.
Yeah, there's some shit in there that's kind of like unbelievable, man. And that's I gotta tell you, that's not even like the that wasn't even like the most raucous trip I've been on, man.
Me, that's definitely top 2 or 3.
It's up there.
Yeah.
But Glenwood Springs for me is
Yeah, no, that one's different.
we should have been arrested.
Yeah, no, yeah, because you guys are throwing pool furniture into to the pool. The hot springs. Yeah.
Yeah, we were peeing into the hot springs from the bridge.
Yeah. Okay, so I wasn't there for that. No.
We're not. No, that's
I don't know. I remember some pretty fucked up like football drafts too.
Yeah,
Well,
you, but we didn't leave the premise room.
Trouble that you guys.
Jeff and I did.
Well, we left, but we weren't. This wasn't the shit. Like I wasn't the one like getting into a weird like shoving match at the end of your driveway or any kind of crazy shit like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been to a couple Oktoberfests with my brother that were pretty fucked up.
There you go. Yeah.
Kind of thing. In fact, there was one in particular where yeah, one guy should be dead. So,
I mean, people do have stories where they're like, well, and that's when the German cops knocked out my teeth. So I don't have anything like
I
that,
don't
but
have
yeah,
anything
it's
like
it's
that. Yeah,
it's
no.
yeah, it's
Yeah, it's been a long time since the cops have showed up to any of my shit.
well, I did have that's true because I since some of my friends did go into the army and stuff after high
Yeah,
school.
that's different.
They got into like some trouble in like Germany and stuff like that.
Get
So
his teeth knocked out by the polizei.
definitely those guys don't fuck around with tourists.
Apparently not,
No.
or GIs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, no, no. I don't. Yeah, there was only one time up in Breckenridge where the cops came out. It wasn't my fault. Yeah.
I had to deal with the cops.
No, there's only been a couple times. Yeah. So it was a fucking Canadian dude. He just got
It's Canadian.
off the hook, man. I mean, it's like nice until all of a sudden it's like, what the fuck is
Well, I
wrong with
told you, man.
dude, bro? You know, it's
It
like,
is the
hey man, you got a
weird.
taser?
Yeah, it is the weird hidden fuse with those guys. They are so nice for a lot of things, but you just say like I can't remember what it's like. So if you go back in the '80s, I don't remember what this is, but I feel like there was this thing where like Hulk Hogan's gimmick for a while was, he's that wrestler and he's a cool guy, right? But I seem to recall there was something where if you said this word or something, he would go berserk,
See, this guy, it was his
and
wife
it's
that
kind of
set
like
him
that.
off.
There you go.
So yeah. To be fair, he deserved it. But yeah, that's the only time
Right.
we've been up there, where the cops got called out. I mean, this is in the most bougie fucking like condo complex. So I haven't done Oktoberfest in a while. So not since COVID. But
Oh
I
yeah,
went
yeah.
6 years in a
Uh-huh.
row up there. I mean, we
Wow.
did some pretty crazy shit. So we had one guy did the whole T-Rex costume and
Oh.
went up and down the street doing beer fest and that.
Oh,
It
okay.
was like way fun, and
Yeah.
cool. But then yeah, there was one year and
Like the inflatable thing?
yeah with the little
How do you
fans,
drink?
huh?
How do you drink?
Oh, there's a flap. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, but yeah, and I went up there with the water wizard
Oh
at
yeah.
least
Yeah.
three or four times.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's pretty cool. So, but he was there that year that the cops came.
Well, you guys, if I recall, if I recall, like the trouble that you got into, and it wasn't even you, was like you and the pizza dudes up north would occasionally get into scraps with fucking lunatics up there, right?
Not intentionally.
No, not on purpose. You didn't.
Well,
Yeah, and I know you weren't kind of like
We'll
this.
roll around like a gang.
I know. Will was just like, let's go beat up the smart kids or whatever. It's not like,
that was
How you
while
like
I
them
was
apples?
that was while I was at work, man.
yeah, yeah.
And the guy tried to pick a fight with Farr or with
Eric?
with um no with um the water wizard.
Right.
And then I came up, and then the guy came in and was like talking smack to, or he wasn't talking smack to me. He's like, "Hey, can you help me with something out here out front?" And I was just like, yeah, sure." And so I went out front, and Eric was behind me, and he just watched the whole thing. And then the two were gonna start a fight, and so Eric just grabbed one guy by the neck and like lifted him a foot off the ground, and I'm just like, oh. I was like, you sure you want to do this? And he's like, no, I don't.
Yeah, because it wasn't. I remember because I remember I came up to see you up there at like this place called the Island or something like that.
Yeah, that's right next to the Pizza
Yeah,
Hut.
yeah, and I remember like you guys telling me that, and it was like it was like last Friday this happened or something like this.
Mm.
And I remember like one of you telling like this guy was going to like pick up a piece of wood or something like that, and like suddenly I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I would have
here?
gotten clowned because I had no idea what was going
We actually like, oh sure,
on.
what do you need help with, sir? Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, Eric's cool. he he knows stuff, man. 'Cause I would have gotten clowned. So
I remember him saying that. He's like, so you're going out
Like, I was like, I don't know what the heck, like, what was going on. I was like, why? What? What?
Oh, that person seemed to be in distress, so I went out there to help him with
I don't
whatever
know.
it was. Yeah.
Eric's red flags were going, and mine were just like, just help a dude out. I'm gonna get jumped.
Why wouldn't I? Yeah, that's what I remember. But I think that was like pretty much the only, aside from that fucking steroid lunatic on the rig,
Oh
that
yeah,
wanted to.
yeah. Again, that was drinking, so
There you go.
that was just regular life. Well, that dude was just whacked.
Well, he had problems.
He had problems. I mean, he was happy to shoot himself up with steroids every night in his stomach, so
Jesus.
I'm proud of it. And I'm like,
Who's that?
no, a guy I worked with on the rig that wanted to beat the crap out of me because I threw a bag on him. So he was sleeping on the job.
What's that place that Eric's wife used to work at? Fort Collins.
Popper.
Oh
something.
yeah,
Cooper Smith?
Cooper Smith.
Yeah, okay. That was a cool place.
It is, and the
Yeah.
beer is strong.
Yeah. That was the other place. There was another place up there, the old railroad station, right?
Yeah, it was like called like Union Station or something like that.
Was it the one with the fucking shuffleboard tables? Or
Oh, yeah,
shuffleboard
yeah.
tables, like floors. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
Loveland had a bakery that was great, but they didn't pay their taxes.
Mitts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like they did. It was a great bakery.
Was it
Big
run by
giant-
Greeks or Armenians?
Schmitz,
German, isn't it?
presume.
Might be Jewish.
Could be.
Could be.
Are there Loveland Jews? I don't know.
They're everywhere, Jeff.
I did just watch another Nazi movie.
Which one?
The Distinguished Gentleman. I thought you talked about it before.
What?
With Henry Cavill and Reacher
And Reacher's in it?
yeah.
Oh no, you're talking about the League of no, it's
Not League. It's
Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Ungentlemanly.
Yeah.
Ungentlemanly.
Hell, it's fun.
It was pretty good.
It's pretty fun.
It's kind of like Inglorious Bastards.
It's Inglorious
just a different-
Bastards, but it's
spin.
just yeah. So, and I mean, they get into so much trouble. He just shoots a bunch of people with arrows.
Reacher is just running from way the fuck out, man. He's just
Everybody's like, okay, we're gonna do this. You're gonna go over there. You're gonna go over there. He's just like shunk. And it's like, all right, I guess we're going in.
How old is this movie?
Oh, like less than a year.
Really?
Year,
Yeah.
2 years,
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's pretty new. We just watched it last night, I think.
Yeah. The Department of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
That's it.
Yeah. It's on
Heard
Amazon.
of
Go
it.
check it out.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
cool. It's fun.
It's fun. It's short too. It's not that long. So
Well, it's long for you.
that's 2 hours.
It's 2 hours.
Yeah. But it moves.
Short movie.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it moves, and it's got a cool plot. I mean, it's just basically these Nazi hating bastards who go murder
It's
Nazis.
Inglorious Bastards.
Yeah, but not so like
Well, they murder a lot,
they murder a lot of people. So-
but it's not as gruesome
well, he doesn't strangle a chick to death. No, So-
or carve a Nazi symbol into his forehead.
Yeah. See,
that's one of my favorite scenes. That's the best. I made a deal for that man's life. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna get
That's
chewed out
fine.
for that. I've been chewed out before.
Isn't he like, but not with me? Yeah.
Yeah, not with
Yeah.
me. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a fun watch.
it's
surprisingly
fun.
good.
It's a little it's just goofy fun.
Well, I do have to ask. I know that you do have a commitment to watch all things within a certain property. Did you sit down and watch the Ironheart or no?
I haven't yet, but I will.
You're going to?
Of course, I'm going to.
Wow. I thought you'd actually say no to something.
No, I'm
All
still.
right. All right.
I haven't watched Craven yet, but that's not
Yeah,
technically
sort of
MCU.
That's extracurricular. That's
It's extra credit.
yeah. That's it. That's if your grade is like 89.3.
And
Actually, I haven't
just get
watched.
bumped up.
I haven't watched that or Madam Web, and I've heard both are beyond terrible.
I hear Madam Web is like a fucking insult to life itself.
Yeah, so I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't had that much free time to just be like, all right, fine.
No, I mean, I watched a couple of things, but nothing that you guys would have seen. So, I mean,
I haven't watched it.
great things like Apocalypse Hotel was fantastic. You just won't have seen it.
Nope.
You can watch it, but you haven't seen it.
Well, of course.
It's animated. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, no.
Great show. I watched finally. I watched my favorite arc of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. That has possibly my favorite character in fiction. I don't know if you'd like it. It's so fucking weird, but it's awesome.
Never heard of it. Okay.
Okay, quite all right. Absolutely the vibe. But that's it. That's all I had time for.
I'm up to the 5th season of The Office.
Oh,
Okay.
right.
So they're getting ready to get rid of Michael Scott.
I think he's got. There's 9 seasons.
Oh, he might have another one.
So
I think he goes
he's
for
got-
the 6th.
Somewhere up there.
No, actually, I think he goes for the
It's
7th.
I think just when I scroll through to get to them,
Yeah.
I think I've seen him.
Well, he takes a big break in there. For
Oh,
yeah.
okay. No, Ryan got fired and got rehired as the receptionist.
Oh yeah, after he became like the corporate douchebag. Yeah. Okay. That's a good story arc. I like that.
Is it when he makes the triangle phone?
Something
I've
like
not
that,
seen
yeah.
yet.
Am I wrong? Like they make like electronic devices that
Well, he
Of the shape of a
proposes it. I
triangle?
don't think they actually do it.
okay.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
No, I think he has one, but nobody else does. Like that's the product that they're putting their future on.
I don't
In
remember.
corporate,
No,
Yes.
I remember he
No,
becomes,
it
he
didn't
becomes a
happen once.
corporate douchebag.
He
He
does.
and
Yeah.
he gets druggy and he's doing insider trading kind of thing where he's.
That's
dumping-
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, exactly. And he gets replaced by the dude with the pool.
I haven't
So,
seen who replaces him yet.
He's that taller guy, you know.
Oh, Andy.
No. This is a corporate guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. No, not Andy, but
I was like, that's Ed Helms.
no, it's not Andy. It's
So it's not Ed Helms.
but he actually fights with him. He's like, I know who you're talking about. He's really tall and skinny.
Yeah.
yeah.
The last one I saw is Jan just had her baby.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Her surrogate baby.
That's right.
What the heck?
After she gets her new boobs.
That is like the saddest shit. Like so
It's where Michael's just like, help me.
But what I don't understand is Michael went and got a second job because he can't afford all this stuff. They had 2 cars. They sold one.
Yeah.
Porsche.
He's got a shit apartment. Yeah.
But how does she? Yeah. How did she afford to have a surrogate? That's like without a job. That's mega money.
Isn't that like $40,000?
And
I have no idea.
giving birth. She doesn't have a job, man.
Oh, that's right, because she's been fired by them.
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So where in the world? I mean, that is. And then she comes in with the stroller that's like, I guess, whatever, $1,000 stroller or something. I'm like, where is she getting? Why was Michael working? Like, why did he have 2
Is
jobs?
this where he
and
starts
she
his
goes-
own company?
No, it's coming up. I saw that.
Okay,
That's,
all right.
It's where he went to work as like a phone call
Yeah.
salesman for like 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because he's like leaving at like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
and- oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, wait, he's working 2 jobs.
Has he burned his foot in the fucking Foreman grill
yeah.
yet?
Yeah.
That was early on. And then he like brings it to the office to cook something, cook steaks with, and they're like, "Did you cook your foot with that?" It's like, "Yeah, but I washed it." It's like, I mean, his reason for explaining it is pretty funny. Like, I can't afford a chauffeur or a butler,
Right,
so
right.
I want the smell of bacon right when you wake up. Like,
Did
huh?
has Jim made Dwight's security badge yet?
Yeah.
It's,
He
my
has
middle
got-
name is Kurt, not Fart. Yeah.
Was
It says, yeah, it's like, John, I am not a security threat. Oh, okay.
God, he just fucked with him so much, man.
I
I'm
mean,
like,
it's I mean, that's like. Oh, okay, yeah.
like yes, that part's like they got
Forgot about that.
they got to the part where they're like the HR lady is saying that if you're taking too long of a break, you're stealing from the company.
Right.
What?
And then
What?
Dwight's like, I don't. I never steal from the. And Jim gets a stopwatch, and every time he
Right.
he's like, it's been taxing. I've been doing this all day. I've just been watching. But I haven't gotten any work done. I think I need to go home early.
I can't remember when it is that because there's this one like great moment where you find out that Jim and Dwight have had this like they're at each other's backs, but they have this one thing in common where they've been like defrauding the company for years, where it like has to do with sales,
Oh yeah,
right?
that's later.
And
Yeah.
so okay, because they're like,
That's where Idris Elba comes in.
is that
He's the guy who finds that out. Yeah.
yeah, because that's the thing where it's like, well, so they have a hard cap on the thing,
Right.
so they like invented like a third salesman or something
Right.
like
Yeah.
that, so
the
that
guy
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
actually work there.
Yeah.
So they're not like really defrauding the company.
But they're both in on it.
They're both in on it, and yeah, they both kick that guy's sales. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's a thing. That's an
Yeah.
actual like kind
So
of.
you haven't seen Idris Elba?
I
Yeah.
haven't seen
Okay.
it.
All right. We won't spoil that then because that's great because he just fucking hates Jim.
He hates Jim.
Oh, it's funny.
Oh.
It's just funny. You know?
It's
It's just because, yeah. You know, he tries to roll up on him, man. You know?
Okay, so have you gotten to the part where they put the tickets in the paper? The winning tickets in the paper. Okay,
No,
so we're
yeah,
close.
he's not there yet.
So you
Yeah.
haven't spent too much time with Craig from downstairs then yet.
He does some
He shows
stuff.
up.
Yeah, he's been in plenty.
Okay.
He's in it a lot more later.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he becomes like the warehouse manager or something.
Well, he tries to get promoted upstairs, but that's actually one of the great moments of the show where they're like, "You didn't really try for this, did you? You thought you were just going to get this."
Yeah,
I
exactly.
was like, "Wow, this is actually
Yeah,
this is a show, right? This is not just like comedy. Like people have flaws."
well, yeah, because they basically call him out as just being a fucking mooch. So
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not as mean, but there's
no,
just
it's
kind
not
of
as
like,
mean, but that's kind of the
yeah.
idea. Well, that's why Pam, like, well, this is way later.
Mm.
When she actually becomes a sales associate, fucking sucks at it.
Well, that's when she loses her job. Well,
I'm guessing the art career doesn't take off then.
okay. That,
It does have the sweetest moment.
that is
in the
like my
entire
favorite
fucking show.
part of the show.
Yeah.
Where Michael buys the painting.
Yeah.
That's
And
yeah.
he thinks this is the most awesome thing he's
Yeah.
ever seen.
Yeah, that one was pretty
So
good.
yeah.
She's in art school right now, so
Yeah. Okay. But she tries to wheedle so many things, and none of them really work.
I mean, that's the like some of that was like.
Well,
hitting
and the
close
same
to
thing
home.
happens
I'm
to
like,
Jim later with his sports marketing career. You know,
Well, it looks like he's doing great over there.
it kind of, but it feels like you can tell that he's the phony of that group.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there's they had to do this some of the loose threads in the arcs in the later seasons. That's where it's sort of like you can pick on that where either A, it didn't flesh out the way that they wanted.
No, the whole Ed Helms thing doesn't work out that way. So
he's bothersome, but he's not like
just wait,
It
he's
gets
gonna
way
get fucking
worse.
annoying.
Well, because Erin hasn't showed up yet, has she?
The redhead.
no.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
okay,
Yeah.
that was
Okay. Yeah.
And it's not her fault. She's awesome.
No, right now he's engaged to Angela.
Oh,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, much to Dwight's chagrin. Yeah,
Well, I don't know. Dwight's hooking up with her like every day.
It's yeah.
behind his back. Oh, yeah,
On the day that they get engaged, I'm like, oh my god.
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
So
what-
Tyrannosaurus.
So they did show the recording to Pam and Jim when they first got together.
After dumping that dude.
Do they ever do they know that they could show each other like camera stuff? Like they're getting recorded all the time.
Oh, that's
Not
a good
until
question.
later.
Yeah, not till
Yeah.
later. Yeah.
Okay.
Because
But,
like in
like,
the
dude-
very last season, there's a lot of behind the scenes shit that happens. Yeah.
Because I'm like, man, they're recording some stuff that
You
everyone's
would not
getting
wanna see
fired,
that, yeah,
man.
exactly.
Like the whole place is
Yeah.
gone. Like,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
who is
Totally
watching
gonna
this
do it
video?
These are pennies. Oh my god. We're totally gonna do it.
Is that the one where she thinks he's retarded?
So funny. That's good.
It's so funny, man. She's totally into me. That's so nice.
Oh man,
Did you do accounting? Yeah.
it goes on for like 3 or 4 episodes. Man, I thought it was gonna like end that episode, and they're just like, I'm like, oh man, they're just, oh man,
This is when he's yeah, that's Michael's girlfriend, right?
I don't know yet.
His wannabe girlfriend.
Well,
Yeah.
they
Well,
have
they-
a connection, but then Jan's pregnant, so they're
Right.
like-
Yeah, it totally
Right.
But
doesn't
I don't
do
know
it.
if
Yeah.
they hook up later on.
I'm
Right.
sorry. Like the scenes that involve both of those were so fucking annoying that they're almost difficult to watch.
Where they're both being idiots.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who,
Michael Scott and
Yeah,
the
the girl.
HR lady. Yeah.
is that Holly?
Holly?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought she was hilarious, but
She was great, but those scenes with her and Michael,
Where they're
you know,
both
it's-
like doing a rap dance or doing.
oh, that's
Yeah.
you're talking about like the picnic one, right?
Oh, that's
Where they have to
weird.
put on a skit.
No, I haven't seen that one. Yet.
That one's later.
Okay, because that's the one where
they did a little rap dance with at
Oh,
the,
yeah,
the
yeah.
festival or the where they have the Ferris wheel in their parking lot and stuff.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. Well, okay, so they've definitely had the awards at that bar, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
That
That's a
was way
heartwarming
earlier.
episode. Yeah, that's actually like a heartwarming episode. I think it's cute. Yeah, there's like you're mentioning certain things here that are bringing to mind, like silently why like certain characters. Like I thought Angela was awesome in that show because she's so subdued, and every now and then they have this moment or like these weird moments where she pops up, and it's so annoying, but it's genius. Like there's this one, I think it's where everybody, for whatever reason, they're doing something for Kelly. It's some big Indian festival.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And she just comes up there and she's like, "Do you have anything vegetarian?" He's like, "Everything is vegetarian." And she's like, "Can I have some bread?" And he's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "You touched it with your hand."
Yeah.
And she just like scuttles off. I'm like, I get this character. Like I was like, I understand. This is a hard thing to write.
You came
I'm like-
pre-programmed. Ready to
Yes.
pissed off. Yeah.
Genius. I'm like, your character doesn't have to do a whole lot, but every now and then you hit these little home runs that have me like cracking up. I'm like, that's cool. Yeah, because like I don't think like there are some characters. Were there any characters in there that didn't actually get a full episode?
A full episode?
Yeah.
Maybe like Pam's first boyfriend.
No,
Oh,
that's
Roy?
who was in Cage too.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
he was in for the first like season.
But he didn't get his whole own episode.
Like he didn't
Oh,
get. Yeah.
No,
Did
I don't think he did.
I don't know if
I know Ryan did.
he did.
He definitely did.
What about like the girl that sits next to Stanley, the
Oh,
mom looking one,
Phyllis.
Phyllis? Yeah. Did she ever get one?
She's got one with her husband in there.
Okay.
I don't really remember. Yeah.
Did the
Meredith.
yeah? Did she get one?
Oh no, probably not.
I feel like she's just a couple of like great events.
Yeah,
but-
and you know
yeah.
what? Creed never got one either. That was just him. I mean, he's got that one where he gets in trouble later. So
Where he's the boss.
for a day. Yeah.
Okay, so they had to have had the one where Michael's dating Pam's mom, right?
No. No.
That doesn't happen during a.
Oh,
That's at a wedding,
Oh,
if I
okay.
recall.
Okay. That-
Yeah, where it is like, and then he has to confess that to her later. Wait a minute,
Oh.
are you and my mom?
Oh,
It's one of my
man.
favorite conversations of the show. She's like, eventually, she's trying to be cool, and she's just gonna like, she's like, stop dating my mother.
mom, yeah.
She's like, just for that, I'm gonna date your mom even harder. She's like, what's that supposed to be? You know it.
Yeah, that does happen. Yeah.
Okay, what about okay?
But
There's
that's late. There's
Is it that
something
much
else
later?
going
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Yeah, there's something else going on at that point in time. I can't remember. It's been probably like 4 or 5
Yeah,
years since
I
I
watched
watched
it
the
on
whole
the rig.
series. Yeah.
that was where I started watching it.
Yeah.
God, there's one other thing. Yeah, there's one just like a soul. Was there an episode where they're in the conference room and they're like supposed to be like I think Kelly's teaching them about like Egyptian or not Egyptian but Indian gods. And there's
I
this
haven't seen that.
okay, and there's
I
this
don't
this,
remember that.
this blue one with big boobs and
No, I haven't seen that.
and
one yet.
Kevin says he's just like from the neck down it looks like Pam. And, and then they cut to her and she's like what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, sorry, Kevin's one of my favorites.
They never overdo him. That's the
They never overdo him.
the
Him flopping
temptation.
around in fucking
Yeah.
chili. Like the first time that happened, I saw that.
You probably like broke a rib
I
laughing.
had to watch it. Yeah. We're just like trying to put it back.
Well, when she thinks he's retarded, he's at the vending machine. He's got the coins in his pocket, and she's like, "Oh, that's a button." She happened to have a button right there. Oh man,
We're totally gonna do
I'm just like, oh man, there's so. Yeah, he totally is. Like it
He's
looks
got
like
the
he's
best
in
end-
the gag with
Yeah.
them.
He's got the best ending arc though. So him and Stanley both. Because doesn't Stanley's wife die in the end? He starts rolling around like a pimp, and if I recall, something like that happens. Or no, no, that's after he tells everybody to stop looking at his fucking daughter. Yeah. What?
Yeah, it's gotten
You
better.
lost your mind because I hope you find it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Michael's not like
They cool
Kid
him the
as
fuck
much-
off.
yeah.
He cools
So
down quite a
it's-
bit.
it's-
Yeah. In fact, the episode release is actually really fucking good. So
See, that's the thing is, that's why I don't mind the seasons where he's not there. It's not because I hate him. He's important for the show, and it kind of lingers there, and it sort of works with it.
it's just a little bit ruined by Ed Helms. So who's so fucking useless. But yeah,
Look, again,
yeah, I got
you're talking to the wrong guy.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
People are like, have you seen The Hangover? It's like,
Yeah.
it's like, wait, you're saying that like it's not the best movie that's ever been made. It's like, well, of course not.
Of course
Is
not.
that movie right
Yeah.
on? Because that would be the best movie. Messing with you.
the remake.
Oh, I saw that piece of shit. No,
I've
that's
never
a waste
even
of
seen
time.
it.
Yeah, no, the original movie is it's genius. It is incredibly
Dumb.
well acted. It's dumb.
It's kind of dumb.
It has parts that are inexplicable.
Right.
Just in terms of like that plane doesn't take off that way.
Right. Yeah.
Right. It has some weird things in there that don't make sense, but the idea behind it is genius. And for a dumb script like that, these people are acting their asses off, and it's so good. They really are, because you take a look at this script, you're like, you don't have to take it this seriously.
But they do.
But they do.
Yeah,
I
they
haven't
do.
seen it since.
I haven't seen it.
It's a masterpiece.
since I was a
been a
kid.
minute. It's been a minute for me too.
Whenever we
So-
watched it here was the last time I.
Actually, like on YouTube lately, they did this 50th anniversary of Jaws.
Oh,
So
okay.
I've been watching. I watched that again. That movie's better than I remember it being. So
Are they walking through all of Jaws? And it's many sequels?
I just saw the first one.
Okay.
I'm familiar with the other three.
Right.
I don't need to see it.
As I say, I know you've seen them.
Yeah. No, I was on a Spielberg kick like a little bit ago. So
That's a good kick to be on.
it was. And
He has way more hits than misses.
you know what movie that I watched the other night was Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And that's better than I remember it being.
I've never seen it, but I want to watch it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's not that bad. Even the effects in it are not that bad.
No, because they're subdued.
They're very subdued. And
Yeah.
They're all like bright lights.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yep.
You know, there's like one goofy effect at the end where you
Yep.
can tell this is a fucking puppet. Yeah, exactly. It was like, dude, you guys made this out of fucking pipe cleaners. So,
I know.
but the rest of it is actually Richard Dreyfuss is actually really good.
Amazing.
He's really good.
Absolutely
Yeah.
amazing.
So, and I hadn't seen that probably in 20 years. So, yeah,
God, and it predates us by
a minute.
at least
Yeah.
10 years for me, maybe 8.
I
Is it
think
like
it's
72?
no, it's after Jaws. So Jaws
Oh.
is 75. So it's probably like 78, 79.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's before E.T. So
Right,
Yeah.
right.
before E.T.
right.
But it's after Richard Dreyfuss because Richard Dreyfuss thought his career was fucking over after Jaws.
Why?
I don't know. They just thought it was going to be a shit like thing, and then it turned out to explode. So
But he's all right. So he's awesome in that. Don't get me wrong, but would you say that he's the most beloved actor in that
oh
movie?
no, Robert Shaw, hands down. Yeah, he was drunk the entire time.
It feels like it, but it feels very
It's
genuine.
real, yeah.
It feels very genuine. Yeah.
No, he was apparently blasted out of his mind when he did that like Indianapolis speech. Like he only agreed to do that if he could get really fucking drunk before.
Why?
He did it.
It's
No idea,
that's so
man.
weird.
Yeah, but it's just an English actor, whatever.
Oh, fair enough. All right. Yeah. All right.
So apparently he drank a bottle of scotch before he did that. You know?
70s were a different time.
It
for
was a
film.
different time. Yeah.
So I understand. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Like I remember like one of the things that so I was listening to a show, right? I was listening to a show that was recorded during COVID, right?
Hmm.
And this is when like this is like a podcast, right? So this was when people were like calling in and I was thinking of this stuff, right? Because I remember during COVID, Tom Cruise was making one of the Mission Impossible movies.
Right.
Okay. And eventually, I don't know how he did this. I didn't know that the film franchise basically belongs to him, right?
Scientology, yes.
No, this is like Tom Cruise Enterprises.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I know, but yeah, you know where that money goes.
Oh, it goes. I don't know, but this is why he has such creative control over it.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
Vin Diesel owns all the fast.
Does he really?
Yeah.
He owns
Yeah,
that
he
shit?
owned the Fast and Furious. Yeah.
These movies are something else. But
You know, there's like 2 more Riddick movies that nobody knows about because he owns that one too. Yeah.
I've seen the second one.
There's like 2 more behind that.
I've seen the first and the second one. I didn't know that it was.
Well, the first one, Pitch Black, and the
Yeah.
second one is Chronicles
Yeah.
of Riddick. There's like 2 more behind that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. All right. But so when he was making one of the Mission Impossibles, there's this clip of him like going ape shit on some of the dudes making the movie because they were
Yeah.
not wearing the masks and so it's just like we're gonna get shut down. He's and he's
Yeah,
like
yeah, I've
screaming
seen
at
that
these
clip.
dudes and. People are like tripping ball. That like they're like he's a mean boss and he
Right.
yelled at us.
I remember when
And-
that happened.
Yeah,
I
and
remember when that happened, man.
and I'm sitting there thinking about like how they made movies in the '70s and stuff. And like, so
like in Jaws, Steven Spielberg almost died in that movie. So because he almost got drowned by his own fucking shark. And the same thing's true with James Cameron. James Cameron almost died filming The Abyss.
so did Ed Harris.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
he did. And if you in The Exorcist, so the way that they were, there's a couple of tricks in there where, what?
Oh, he's gonna take a shot at your moth there.
Well, stop. I remember you have to. So the safety is okay. It is push safe, so you have to do this. Okay. Go ahead and pull the hammer back. Make sure.
He's gonna
okay.
land.
Wait. Make sure that this is properly lined up. Okay. And now you may take aim and shoot this thing as you will.
Fire at will, Commander.
So I remember Reagan McNeil when they were doing the bed trick. She like
Oh yeah.
totally fucked up her back with the way
Yep.
they were doing that, and on top of that, uh,
Did you get him?
I don't know if she did. But
Sorry, this is radio, not television, William. You know?
but the mom, they totally surprised her with that when they jerked her from behind.
Oh really?
Yeah, she had no idea that was coming.
Oh.
That's why she was so fucking terrified when it happened. And they're
Oh.
like, "Oh, this stays in the film."
Yeah,
She's like,
yeah.
"I'm very injured."
Well, actually, it was funny because I was watching the Jaws thing, the making of Jaws. You know, the chick in the beginning who gets eaten by the shark.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So they actually dislocated her shoulder in that one
yeah.
because they had like attached chains to her, and then they had guys pulling on boats.
Oh, okay.
So they
Okay.
actually really fucked her up.
Wow, talk about
Yeah.
and yet when you get to the things where you're like, this must be a bloodbath. What was it on the Road Warrior where there's one significant injury and it was
Is that when they flipped the car?
well they have it on film. It's one stuntman. It's
Yeah.
not when he flipped the car. He falls off and he hits the ground.
Yeah.
Right. He broke a leg.
Oh.
That's it. On that movie, that's the only leg
Really?
injury.
I
But-
thought there was a story about how they flipped a car and like everybody in it had to go to the hospital.
Not on that movie, and
Oh,
it's not
okay.
like the Twilight Zone where the dude got fucking decapitated.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's yeah, right. Yeah.
That's some fucked up shit.
Yeah, this is pretty fucked up.
Hey,
Oh.
actually, I forgot to ask, what was our bet?
On what?
Iran.
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to go back and listen to it.
We bet something, and it was within like 48 hours.
World War III or nothing.
I can't remember.
I don't remember.
I
Either.
think my bet was that that fucking Furface would be dead.
Maybe
The
he's not.
Ayatollah would be
Yeah,
dead.
the Ayatollah is not dead. But now apparently we're all cool.
Those are some pretty cool explosions.
Oh, dude, I know. And all these guys talking, oh, you didn't do any damage to us. Like, fuck yeah.
Why are you reporting this?
I know.
You
Yeah.
say that?
It was like, come on, man. So,
Oh,
I mean, that was pretty impressive. Well, I mean, and even some of the ones that they were showing weren't even those. They were just JDAMs that had been dropped in Syria like 2 years ago.
Oh,
And
really?
so, yeah, like these actual bombs, they've actually never used these before. But then they actually did show some of the satellite photos, and it's like, fuck yeah, let's go.
Oh, damn, man.
Yeah. So, but then, yeah, like 48 hours later, everybody's like, okay, all right. And then, like Israel launches a bunch of shit, and Iran launches one back. And Trump says, I'm pulling this fucking car over. You two
We
knock
didn't
it the
even say
fuck off.
fuck,
Yeah,
man.
he was obviously pissed. So, but apparently, but it's been like 3 days now, and
Nothing.
everybody's cool. So,
Well, because they did this shit where it's like, okay, so when does the ceasefire start? It's like at midnight. Okay, so fire the missiles at 11:59.
And he got pissed about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was like, wait a minute, that didn't mean fire everything before midnight. Yeah. And then they
that's-
did it again the next morning. So, yeah.
And he's like, I don't think you know what a ceasefire means in my country.
Dude, I want to hear that phone call between him and Netanyahu that morning.
You think that phone call started with "Hey"?
No, I don't. Yeah. It's like, motherfucker.
What are you doing?
Something like that, man.
We had a goddamn deal.
You know, it wasn't. May I speak with Benjamin?
Get that fucking bitch on the phone right now. So, I'm gonna bomb you.
Asshole. Yeah.
You know what? Like the funniest thing that I read about this whole thing. Okay, so that happened on Saturday. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so those planes took like 23 hours to fly from Missouri
Right.
to there. And if you roll back the clock, that's when he was having fucking lunch with Steve Bannon.
Why do you keep looking at your phone?
Exactly. He's like,
Who
so
are you
we're
texting?
not doing this, right? You know, we're not helping out the Israelis on this and stuff. He's like, yeah, no.
Right,
You know?
right.
I was like, yeah, sorry, yeah, there we go. Because like, it was just this hilarious thing because he had told him what 2 weeks, and then the Iranians told him, well, we'll think about it. He's like, well, okay, time's up. And then ordered that strike, and then had lunch with Steve fucking Bannon. So I might as well have got on Tucker Carlson that night. Yeah, no, we're cool. It was like, well, when's this gonna post?
Right.
Yeah. So because they were already en route at that point in time. That was bananas. It was a 40-hour flight. Think about that.
Oh yeah.
With, if I recall, there were also like 2 decoy crafts going the other direction.
So
yeah.
what they did was a couple like last week they had flown some dudes from out to Guam.
Okay. Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay, so they can reach us from Guam, but they also had some in Diego Garcia, which is just down like in the Indian Ocean. But they flew them from Missouri.
Right.
Yeah, and then the other thing is like it wasn't even just the bombers. They had so the Navy's got these 4 submarines that used to be like carry nuclear missiles.
Yeah.
But now they carry like 60 Tomahawks on them, and they just fired one of those off to blow up all those other places. And that's one of 4 they had here. So yeah, it was just like, all right, fine. I guess we're just gonna go fucking all out. So, and then the whole like shit the next day was just it was nuts, because at first it was like, oh fuck, I guess 2 weeks doesn't mean 2 weeks, and then it was like, oh well, you didn't really destroy it. And so it's like just fucking give credit where it's due, bro.
Media backpedaling where it was. Yeah, this has been in like an embarrassing week for media, man. This is like it's just getting
Media is
worse.
dumb right now.
Fucking idiots.
I mean, it's just like, all right, so obviously, like we're not going to give anybody any credit for doing anything. And even the Iranians, like yesterday, were like, oh well, it didn't do anything. It was like, why the fuck did you agree to a ceasefire?
Right. In like 5 seconds.
Well, and this
I mean, come on, man.
keep in mind this does come along with the so they did retaliate. They fired like 5 missiles at
But they called and warned us.
correct.
Well, and see, that's the other thing that's not really been like put in the media, but like the Iranians knew we were coming, so we had told them.
Oh, so that they wouldn't have casualties. And
Correct.
Stuff.
Yeah. So yeah.
There's that, and I think that there may be a sense of I think certain Iranians may be in control that other Iranians are not.
That it seems like that's the case. But
It's hard to say, man, because like it's to Israel's credit. I don't want to give him credit for shit right now. Just in
I'm
terms
not that
of,
mad at him.
Well, no, I mean,
Yeah.
like, I will give him credit here in terms of this seems like something that just happened, but that is shit that is like you've got plans within plans within plans.
Did you see what they did?
And-
I mean, like the brilliance behind their
The
initial
coordinated-
attack on Iran, where they had like fucking Ukraine style
It's
fans.
fucking art. I mean, it
was like,
unreal.
oh, okay. So actually, it'd be really dangerous to fly our planes in Iran if all their SAM missile sites are up. So let's just park fucking, panel vans next to every one of them, and blow them up with these, like, I mean, and Ukraine just came out with that a couple weeks ago. They're like, that's a great fucking idea. We should do that. So
Yeah. It again, this is the crazy shit on it is there's this component of so that's been put together for a while, right?
Sure.
But there's this like the way they're presenting it is almost like so we got this secret letter that said the nukes are ready, right?
Right.
But this is not how you act if you just got this letter 2 weeks ago.
No, it's clear that we've known about that for a while too. So that's just something that is kind of like. So I mean, like, there's been a couple of guys who've actually been pulling some pretty like knowledgeable dudes on some podcasts about this last couple of weeks. They're like, okay, so like last year, when they saw this happen, okay, and particularly with some of the sanctions and stuff like that, they started ramping that up. And
Okay.
we knew about that because the Israelis knew about that because the Israeli guys are in Iran everywhere. So,
Right.
and so it's like, oh, okay, all right. So this isn't just something that came together over the weekend, you know.
Right. I mean, you are talking about an agency that fucking blew up like 15 members of leadership with pagers.
All right.
So,
More than that,
yeah.
but then we're able to actually like, did you see the shit about how they actually use their guys' internal like communication network on the high level command to
No.
call a meeting of all the major Iranian commanders, and they showed up and got fucking tomahawked? That's real, dude. They did that. So they fucking hacked their phones. So they say, okay, so big meeting next Friday, 8 o'clock. I'll be there. And everybody's like, oh, okay, fuck yeah.
This 7-Eleven out here, just this one, so everybody here.
Yeah, we're gonna meet in the market at Walmart, broad fucking daylight. No, man, it was like absolutely bananas what they've been able to put together, on some of that. And it's just it goes to show that there's a little bit of kabuki going on here. So,
Well, that's just,
and I get
that's
that,
yeah.
but like the fact that Trump wasn't in on it is just that's patently not true. So now I can't speak about Tulsi Gabbard. She might not be. She got fucking roasted this week, dude.
I think she had to.
I don't know if she's a fall chick or if they just like, okay, so if we tell you about this shit, you're gonna spill the beans. So I have no idea, man. But she was definitely her stock. I'm glad I didn't invest in her Bitcoin.
That was weird. That was, yeah, that was a little bit strange. That's either like,
Well, and he flat out like she did that whole thing in the Senate last week.
Yeah.
And he came out and she's like, yeah, she's wrong. And we're like,
so
wait,
weird.
what?
I didn't.
I don't quite get that.
Did not
Yeah.
get that. There's this.
I don't get that, but I mean, Trump gave a huge middle finger to her and Steve Bannon.
But the weird thing
And
was,
Tucker Carlson, he called him a lunatic this week.
he did.
So,
He did. I mean, he was
Yeah.
like he stopped himself short of like he was mid butthole before he like censored himself because he was calling them names like he was
called
going
him
on
a
the
whack
road.
job or something like that. Yeah. So
And the funny thing was, like, the next day, like, they asked Gabbard, and she was just kind of like, yeah, I know what's up. She didn't get mad. She didn't do anything.
Well, and
but it was just weird.
Yeah, they confronted Tucker on it too. He's like, yeah, I'm kind of loony. That's what it was. Yeah. And it was like, huh.
This is bizarre.
Well,
man.
no, I think those guys, and see, now you watch RFKJ doing like different things this week where he's totally staying in his lane.
Yeah,
And he hasn't caught any crap from the president. But these other guys who are like, oh, actually, I'm the face of MAGA. He's like, fuck, you are. So,
that was wild. Yeah, and it was funny too. Like at that meeting that RFK was at, where he was like, he just confronted that guy straight up. He's like, well, I appreciate you saying that, but when I look down the donors list, right?
yeah.
And I see who's collected. I mean, that's your name right here.
Yeah,
And
I
he's
see
like,
it right There were a couple moments in that hearing. So but the dude's staying in his lane, man. So, he's not talking about Iran or Israel or Ukraine or anything like that. He's like, okay, I do this.
Right.
And so Trump leaves him alone. But these other guys who are kind of like Tucker's been all over the map the last couple of weeks. He got put in a box this week.
He did.
Yep.
So there are a couple of free range dudes who get to speak for the White House, like uncontested. Like little Marco, he's got free reign to go anywhere, say anything, because he always says the right things.
Well, him and JD Vance, same thing.
JD Vance, Tom Homan says whatever the fuck he wants because he's got one agenda.
But he only shows up every now and then.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Because
so he stays in his lane.
Because typically the guy who does the speaking for Homan is Miller. And
yeah, that's true.
But yeah, if Homan comes out, he always says the same thing. It's just kind of like, I don't like these people. I want them out of my country.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
The law says I can get them out.
Yeah.
Can I help you with anything else?
The other guy who's learning his lane is Hegseth.
Yeah.
That guy, you can tell he's on a short leash. So
that is true.
Yeah,
yes.
they're like, hey,
yes.
do you still have the Signal app on your phone? If the answer to that question is yes, this is going to be a problem, son. You know?
It's like, no. I use Telegram like all the rest of the crazies.
Wait, what? Yeah, I know. Oh yeah, Telegram's been bananas lately. So,
It's the
so is Twitter. Twitter. I mean, I'm sorry, man. It's basically turning into Reddit lately.
never say that in my presence again.
I'm sorry, dude.
No,
I'm
no,
not wrong
no,
about
no,
that, though.
No, nothing is Reddit. Reddit is Reddit.
Reddit is its own thing, but like
you,
this,
you take that back.
I can't, man. I've seen all this stuff about the New York City thing the last 2 days. I can't take it back. So, because it's getting there.
Which part is getting? Are you talking about
Mr. Socialist, like I'm gonna
Yeah.
fucking nationalize all the bodegas.
His name's like Mamdan or something.
Something, man.
And I did a dyslexic moment, and I looked up, and I was like, "The Madman."
It's
Or-
close?
I was
Yeah.
like, wait,
it's-
what? And I was like, "Oh, I swapped it."
yeah, with Boggle, you can spell the same name.
Yeah,
yeah.
I was like, "Oh man." Huh.
But I mean, I'm sorry, man. The last 2 days, Twitter's just been like fucking chock full of bullshit.
Oh, sure. No, I got you there.
Only the last 2 days.
Well, okay. So on my feeds, which like aren't decidedly different than his, I get that. Okay, all right.
Fine.
But like the fucking Reddit ooze has seeked its way into my like fucking feeds lately, because of this dude, and oh, we're gonna have free trains, like
Right.
yeah, exactly. And then, I mean, the one silver like lining of this cloud is just watching the absolute implosion of like Cuomo land, which has been delicious.
Okay. Now, what I want to give you perspective on, okay, is this is r/Colorado Springs.
Okay, I'm not comparing it to that, dude.
Right? These are the topics.
This is like the Nazis that cut themselves with swords as opposed to the ones who actually just sign up for a weekend tour.
Okay, so I'll give you this one, okay? Loud explosion from Constitution near Cimarron Hills. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. All right, I got you.
Wait, what?
Lots of explosions.
Loud explosion from Constitution Avenue near Cimarron Hills. Okay?
Fireworks.
It would be my guess. Okay?
No, terrorists. Yeah.
First time gym goer, Vasa or Planet Fitness. Okay, gotcha on that one.
Okay.
Okay. That's a local thing.
Okay.
I drive a Tesla. Advice. Okay? Because they're gonna get into it. Okay?
Does that even happen anymore? Now that Musk quit.
He's gone back to rockets. So yeah, and producing more children. Yeah.
Do you have another kid?
Yeah, he did.
Oh my god.
We are
This one is also named with a serial number.
we are letting our congressional rep Jeff Crank know that we are not okay with the BBB amendment to sell 14 million acres of wild and public lands in Colorado. Safeway worker strike at Circle in Uinta.
Wow, that's the shittiest one. I'd strike too if I worked there.
Old man opinion. The speed limit on Powers is too damn high.
Hi.
Okay.
What time of day do you drive, son?
Third spaces to meet LGBTQ people. This is what I'm talking. This is Reddit. Colorado Springs Reddit. Right?
Nothing.
This is not what your regular people are into. They don't care, right?
That's
they
the
don't.
same crap you hear on anything that anybody posts.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Twitter's worse right now.
But this is what I'm saying here. This is how politicized
It wasn't
that this
that
joint is.
bad.
Okay. Well, I'm just scrolling down a little bit here.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's just normal.
Just
It
get
is
that off
not
your
normal.
man.
It is
I
not
mean,
normal.
It's
Okay.
normal. You get
It is-
people that post wackadoo stuff on all sides everywhere.
Is CS unobtainable for people like me?
What is CS?
Colorado Springs.
Oh, yeah.
Is it unobtainable for people like
We'll go
me?
live in Fountain.
Genuine question for transplants. Right? This is the shit that I'm talking about here. No. This is what Reddit is.
That's not that bad.
Reddit is basically that is not a cross section of people that you will meet here.
No, it's not, man. It's people who are on Reddit.
Right.
Well, and that's my point about
With
Twitter.
a known commodity of people that you can sample. These are the people that gather. This is what I'm trying to tell you, is you know the people, and this is the crowd that are there.
I've seen
even bothered by it.
I get it.
I've seen much worse stuff on the Colorado Springs Reddit than that.
No,
That's not a good sample
I'm just scrolling what's recent.
I got you.
Recent.
Just random.
William,
questions.
no. You got to understand. So about I don't know, like a week ago. If I go back to the week ago when they had their
Pride Fest. Yeah. It's
no, not
totally
Pride
different.
Fest. No, not Pride Fest.
Okay.
We're talking about that June 14th, the like Day of Resistance or whatever it was called,
Oh yeah.
right? Right. So yeah, if you go back to there and
We
you're
were
talking
kinda on
about
the
the
same
people
day.
that were
The
We're on the same
anti-King
day.
Day or whatever.
right,
it's called.
no King's Day,
No.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. No Kings. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. No. I mean, okay, fine. That's when they all. Ouch! Did you get him? Well, this ain't duck hunt, son.
Yeah. You're shooting at something the size of a nickel. Wait for it to land, dumbass. Here, let me. I don't even know how many rounds you have left, stupid. All right, let me see. All right, so
Barrels down range, son.
okay, you have 2 shots left in this cylinder.
Oh, okay.
All right. All right. Any last thoughts before you go duck hunting?
Going duck hunting.
It's moth season.
Moth season.
Yeah.
You got 1 barrel left.
I have 2.
So do you.
All right, there we go.
All right, that's all for me then.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anyway, I'm Pat.
I'm
Jeffrey.
Will.
All right. Hit the button.